What's going on, guys? Alright, so we got a different type of video today. This is my first time reacting to a movie or a TV show. I think I've done some clips of TV shows, some funny clips. Maybe, I don't know if maybe one or two. I don't know now. It's been so long ago. But anyway, I'm going to talk about this movie, The Watchers, that just came out, I believe yesterday. I actually went and saw it earlier today. This movie was not very good. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was bad, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't much of a story, to be honest with you. I'll talk about some key points in it that I, wanted to touch on. So we started off with the guy going through the woods, going through this forest, I guess you should call it, and he gets snatched up by something. So basically the start of the movie, Dakota Fanning's character is she's working in a pet shop, just very very miserable life, very just all she does is work and go home, it looks like, and she does like go out sometimes. I don't know really what the point of that scene was with her putting on a wig and going out to meet a guy, talk to a guy. I don't even think they ended up doing anything, unless I just missed something. But anyway, so she's supposed to take this bird that the pet shop owner, the guy that she works for, I guess is selling to somebody. He tells her to take the bird on a trip to go give it to this person that he's sold it to, I guess. But I just got some talking points here. All right, so yeah, so anyway, on the way there, she gets a call, not a call from her sister. She's listening to a call from her sister, and she's just saying how she was not at her mother's memorial service, which it's been 15 years, 16 years since her mother's death. We see later that she's the one that caused the accident as a child, of course, not knowing what she was doing, but obviously she blames herself, so holding a lot of pain in from that. So we're in the car with the bird, and she runs across this forest, and it's dark, it's creepy looking. Of course, the car breaks down. So, she tries to get help, tries to look around, see if anybody lives around there. Not a place that it would look like anybody lived at. So, oh, okay. And also, I did forget to mention. So before this, as as she gets out of the car, gets the bird, and tries to go look for help, tries to find somebody around there, she turns around when she hasn't walked very far at all. She's going back to the car. Of course, the car disappears. So we're in some type of time loop, alternate type of, not reality necessarily, but this forest exists like out of our time frame. Maybe is what it leads you to believe, I guess. By the way, the bird's name is Darwin as well, so of course after Charles Darwin, I'm sure. And of course we get into some things about evolution a little bit later, about man and stuff like that. So we'll discuss that a little later. But anyway, so as the night goes on, she starts hearing noises, stuff like that. So this old woman calls to her from a bunker type looking thing, and she says, you need to run if you want to survive. You need to come in here right now. So she gets in there, of course. They hear these things, kind of wailing, I guess, outside, and you hear very very loud knocks at the door. So these are called the Watchers. Now, to be honest, guys, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this book of Enoch that was taken out of the Bible, and it's a lot of things that are, it refers to these, these angels, fallen angels coming down, showing men how to do war, how to do all kinds of things, corrupting them. They, of course, sleep with a lot of the human women, and that from that creates the Nephilim. And they're also called the Watchers in there. Maybe that's a whole different thing. So I thought this movie might be something like that. It turns out it didn't have a damn thing to do with that. So that's really why I wanted to go see it, because of something like that. But let's get into let's keep going. I don't want to make this too long. Um, So Mina, that's Dakota Fanning's character's name, she attempts to leave, but there's no way out of the forest. Madeline explains the rules. That's the old woman. She's also she also has two other people in there. Kira, I believe the girl's name was, played by Georgina Campbell. You might have seen her in the Superman, not Superman show, the Krypton show on Sci-Fi a few years ago. That's what I knew her from. And some annoying ass idiot by the name of, what was this idiot's name? I can't remember, but Daniel. That was it. The most annoying person in the movie by far. Lasted way too long. I do not know what purpose he served in this movie, just other than being a absolute nuisance to everybody's ears and eyes to have to listen to this moron talk the whole time. So okay. So Mina learns that they've been, stranded there for months, and they're pretty free to go out in the daytime. The Watchers aren't. They don't move around in the daytime. They don't come after them. Don't attack. So they can go out in the woods. They can hunt, do whatever they need to do in the daytime. But they have to be back in this bunker behind these closed doors, before sundown, before the sun goes down, because obviously that's when the Watchers come out. Okay, so let's just skip to the end here, because I'm kind of sick of talking about it already, to be honest with you. But we don't really miss a lot of stuff. So they come across a floorboard that's covered up by a rug, has a trap door, so they get that door open. There leads to a hole underground, or not underground, but underneath the house. There's tons of records, files. There's even a computer there, a very old-timey looking computer. Turns out this professor knew what this forest was about, that these things. So turns out this old woman, Madeline, she was a teacher of, things like history and folklore, mythology type creatures. So she was very invested in these type of beings as well. So she came also to this forest looking for these things, and she of course ends up having to go in the bunker to save herself. Now she's been trapped there for months and months. All right, I wrote a few points down. Let's see. So it turns out the Watchers can take any appearance, basically. So, like the girl Kira, played by Georgina Campbell, she had a husband to begin with, but they're waiting for him to come back to the bunker at the time we meet these new characters, when Dakota Fanning's character joins them. So a thing comes to the door, claims to be him, so they will let him in. Of course, she wants to. The old woman, Madeline, says no. Nobody comes in after midnight as a safety precaution, and she asks the guy questions that he should know. He doesn't know, so, it's not him. Then maybe it turns out to be him because they've got a camera. Then he gets snatched up. I don't know. They're all over the place in this movie, to be honest with you. Anyway, so we get to the like I say, we'll get back to the professor, the guy professor. I think his name was Professor Gordon, I believe. But they see the videos of him where he's talking about these creatures, and he basically just says, like I say, that he wanted to come there, so he did, to study them. But he ended up getting caught there, and then he tells them an escape route, basically, to how to get out of there. So what was it? Yeah, he says that they have to go to this boat so long off in the island they're at, I guess, and that's how they're going to get off the island, get out of here, and that works. But let's go back just a little bit. I'm kind of all over the place here. So let's see. Okay, yeah, this is important. So this is where it actually got interesting for a little bit. This was probably the best little part of the movie, to me at least. The guy also, Professor Gordon, he also says on one of these videos, or maybe they're just reading the papers, I don't really remember. He says that these beings these watchers, they lived in the past as gods, but yet they were called fairies. So they were locked up. They got along with humans before. They even mated with the women, I believe, or mated with humans. Maybe there's women and men. I do not know of these fairy creatures, but they got along. But then humans, took away their magic, took away their wings, and they trapped them underneath uh, underneath something. I can't remember what now, but somehow they broke out, and this was the area that all happened in. This was, of course, thousands of years ago. They were called different things because, like I say, they can take the appearance of different people, different beings. So they were called fairies. I think they were called. Oh man, what else did he say they called them? I don't remember, but really doesn't matter because that's what they were basically. Now that reminded me a little bit of the fallen angel story that we hear about in the book of Enoch, so here and there. So that was probably the most interesting part in the whole story to me right there. But then we get a little bit of a twist at the end. The old woman, Madeline, she was a watcher. So she was one of these beings at one time. And Professor Gordon, the guy they're seeing on the videos on the computer in the underground part, in the underneath part of the house, that was apparently his wife, and she died. And he came there to try to get a secret to maybe bring her back to life. Who knows what? They never really you know extended any conversation on that. That was basically it. It was just a guess. Okay. So so she was, but she's not a full watcher. She had human DNA in her as well, so she was kind of a hybrid, a watcher and a human, I guess. I hope I'm explaining this right, but it was kind of all over the place. So anyway, they get off the island, or I'm sorry, not that they're not off the island yet, but as they're making their way to the island, the idiot Daniel gets killed because he stupidly lets somebody in. I believe the Kira's husband, who we already know was dead and was not who he says he was, but I think he let him in and went back to help him or something when they were all going down to the boat. So of course this moron gets killed, which thank God, it took way too long in the movie for that to happen. But the rest of the three escape on the boat, and then this is when we get the reveal sometime later that Madeline was originally a watcher. And then basically Dakota Fanning's character, Mina, just says to her when she's about to kill her, when the Watcher is about to kill Mina, she says, "I don't think you'll do this because you have human in you too. You're part human." And that's basically it. So she agrees and they go their separate ways. And then we see a flash forward, I don't know, years later, months later. Dakota Fanning's character has, she's on better terms with her sister now. They weren't talking, and she's with her kids, with her sister's kids. So I guess her nieces, nieces, nephews. Okay, couldn't think of the word there, but whatever they are, I can't remember. And then we see, this thing taking the form of a kid, kind of look back, and that's probably one of the clips you've seen in the trailer, the very creepy looking eyes and everything. And it turns out that is Madeline, and she's basically just keeping a watch on Mina. So she's kind of watching out for her. So the watchers, I guess. And it's like there was no conclusion, there was no big fight. She basically just said, "I don't think you'll hurt me because you're part human." And basically that was the end of it. And that was just a. Yeah, never mind. I said this wasn't a bad movie, but I'm going to change that right now. The movie was bad. So, yeah, after all I said right there, after going through it and hearing myself talk about it, playing it back in my mind like that, it was a bad movie. So, never mind. Scratch what I said at the beginning. Let me know if you saw it. Let me know what you thought of this reaction. Let me know if you want me to do more reactions to movies or shows or brief recaps, I guess, like this was. But this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm kind of all over the place too. But let me know what you thought of this movie if you've seen it. So that's it. Thanks for watching.